minutes to talk about Bitcoin and it going down in a bullish pullback while the previous stock leader, Dow Jones, just totally tanked. It gave up its baton as leader, in my opinion, right? So now the whole market, it needs to rally up sometime because everything has to retest from where it broke down. It doesn't have to, like it's not a rule etched in stone, but it is an unwritten rule. So let's go see what that could look like and what initiators you're going to see when you can say to yourself, this rally, whatever's happening now, we're most likely at least going to test the breakdown point of these assets. So let's dive in and to see which assets are the most important and what we can expect in time. You ready? Bullish pullback. Here's the yearly low, 15.5 in late November, November 22nd. Connected with the low, scoop below it, zoomed way up, scooping below it with nice, heavy 2017 support right here. And it's scooping below. Now, that means when price gets back up to this orange line or this orange line, you might get a lower high there, and it could get rejected by this line and then finally break down for the first time. So here it broke down and retested its breakdown point, but then kept going up, right? So this time, if it hits here, it's gonna test this orange zone again, its breakdown point, and you would be watching out for a lower high. So zooming into this section here, that means the lower this scoops below, the more and more chance that this is then resistance. Does that make sense? So here, it fell from both. It's not a coincidence, right? So look here. Last time, it got stuck under here. It couldn't hold this either, and that's exactly when it accelerated because big money is looking at this line. We've already confirmed that beyond a reasonable doubt on this channel last week. We already confirmed, with Wix. Sophisticated algorithms from traditional finance loaded with tens of millions of dollars. They are aware of that line. What the next move on Bitcoin, it will involve this orange line, but it's a question of, does it hit the blue line first, or does it go all the way below this, scoop really low, and then have even a bigger retest up? That would, but it would still come back up to this line. That's only 5%. But if it goes below 17,120 or 17,220, you need this box. It's $100 range. 17,220, 17,120. But the lower it goes on this move down, the more and more chance it finds this trend line, this horizontal, and this EMA, the weekly 10. So here, take a look. If it goes down, this is what's gonna trap it later. It'll flip this to resistance. It'll flip this to resistance, which we've already confirmed also that this was the line, right? It fell from it, rejected, tanked. And then you have the weekly 10 coming here too. So you have three big things here. Like it's like a big rock, right? And a person of this size cannot lift this rock up. So it'll take a lot of buying pressure to hold up the rock and to get above it, the lower it goes. Making sense there? It's not a death sentence. It doesn't mean it can't, but if it hits this blue box or lower, the next rally, whenever you get a move up, it could be a week later, whatever, you are expecting a lower high. As of now, how do you navigate this? Well, regardless of where it hits, whether it tings here and comes up, or goes down here and goes up, scoops below, goes up, or stops here and goes up. Doesn't matter which one happens over the next day. No matter what happens, you just need to go to the tiny time frames and look at how the candles interact with this. So technically, it has not used this as perfect resistance yet. So it used it as good support, boom. Oh no, here, this candle right here used it as resistance. On the way back up, higher low, broke above. That's close enough. Yeah, so resistance again. That resistance doesn't count because she stuck a higher low, went up. Honestly, it doesn't have a perfect retest, a bearish retest. So, I mean, I think that no matter what, this needs to come up to this line. But once it does, you're going to be able to tell, okay, I'm on higher low watch. I already know that. Is it going to be a lower high? Just look at how are the candles interacting with this. If it gets on top, starts bouncing, well, guess what? It's going to come up the air. Could it get rejected and then come down? Sure. But once again, that's when you start looking at how do the candles use this as support, or do they come like this and start using it as resistance? That's all you do on how to tell, am I on lower high watch during this move up? When, I'm not saying the move up is current. It could, again, focus is, I'm not saying it's going up from here. When it does, could scoop down, could hit here, or could go now. That doesn't matter. What matters is once it does get here, because it will get here. Like, it's extremely likely it will get there. You just zoom in. How does it behave on this line? Now, external charts for Bitcoin, I am using the US 500, which is the futures of SPX, of the S&P 500. So look at this. If you can see this, the lower high watch will be a 45-degree angle. So I, on crypto, am going to get more bearish once, this general area is hit. I think this is the leader, and that could be as low as this. I mean, it could just come up to test this. Actually, you know what? That's probably what's going to happen. It's gonna want to test this horizontal. So what I'm using mostly outside of crypto, the chart that, my external crypto chart that I'm going to rely on most for this current bounce, along with Bitcoin, I'm using this line, the top of the of the bull trap zone. Massive rally of August created the top of it. So if price of US 500, let me zoom way in here. So now I'm definitely on lower high watch, and I know exactly, well, actually when, because the cross, you get the when. So I know when and where to start looking, and that's Christmas Day. So it might just have some upside movement for a while, but it could also come down here and test down here and then work its way up. So in order to have your best external chart for a clue on Bitcoin, now you zoom into this guy, try to make your lines look similar to mine, and do the tiny candles. How are they interacting with this line? Has it been rejected once? No, it hasn't. Look, came down, above it. Came down, above the purple. Came down, above the purple. No rejections here. Came down, did not reject. It's pseudo rejection, but higher low. So that means it's not a rejection. And here we are again. So I think this has a better chance. This chart has a better chance to hold this trend line, maybe go below one more time, and then it's going to stay on top. So it's all about the interaction with candles on this line, and this will tip you off. So for example, I'm in 1x longs or spot trades on crypto right now because I think Bitcoin will, bounce from this general area. Maybe 1% move down more, altcoins 2%, whatever. But I would bail on this, on those longs, 1x longs, if it goes like here, I'm out. I would use this chart to make a crypto move. Even if Bitcoin is not below its line, I would still bail if this chart does that, because Bitcoin will follow. This chart's going to lead Bitcoin, and the way that the index interacts with this exact line, this line here, it will walk Bitcoin like a puppy with it on a leash. Right now, I don't see anything to be too concerned about to the downside. Bitcoin could swipe 17,220 when this happens. Could happen. But right now, Bitcoin is outperforming the market. So I think, Bitcoin's got a decent chance to stay where it's at and work its way up. But this line right here is going to give you a great indication of things to happen before they happen. It's your crystal ball, essentially. And that is everything that's important. So when does lower high watch end on Bitcoin? When you get back above 17,760 or 17,760 or so, when you get it back above this blue line. Lower high, is lower high watch over? Actually, hold on, let me confirm that. I think that's accurate. Yeah, lower high watch is not over just because you get above this orange line, because then you're going to be stuck in this triangle. So yeah, it's 17,760. Once you are done with, you don't have to be so worried about lower highs after this is proven as support. If it goes like this, in that exact moment, has this been proven as support? No. So that doesn't count as the lower high watch ends. You're still on lower high watch because that could turn into a failure rejection pattern. Failure above the line here and then rejected by the line there. You need it to be used as support, 17,760. So on your chart, things that you want to put on your chart is the weekly 10 EMA using an MTF EMA indicator. There are several, so that means you can have the 1 minute chart, but have the weekly 10 on it. That's what MTF means. You need 17,760 horizontal. You need to go on your chart, connect the 15,000, the yearly low trend line. You need it to look like mine. It goes back to, it goes back to the 15.5 low. Right there. Okay. So these are all the things that you need on your Bitcoin chart to know what what I think is important to help you manage whatever your plans are in crypto right now, if you're trading or not. So coming all the way down here is not scary, but it does increase the chance of a lower high. Lower high watch is not done until you get here. So all you need right now is the weekly 10, horizontal, the ascending line, and then this $100 range box here. That is all you need on Bitcoin until either this is used as support or this is broken below. You don't need anything else on your chart right now. It's all structural analysis. Besides, until the weekly 10 comes into play, then you're looking at how do candles interact with the weekly 10. And I think for Bitcoin, that might be it. Yeah, we got the external stuff. We know the line here, and that line currently is at 38.93 on US 500 specifically. See how it says US 500 right there? And so you do need one external source to Bitcoin, and that would be it. And this is the one line I'm looking at. So even break it down clearly. Above here, immediately micro bullish on Bitcoin. Below here, immediately micro bearish on Bitcoin. The farther away you get from this one line, the better your odds get that is the direction. So right now, our odds super good that we should be long. No, why? Because it's too close to this line. Do you have a 0.008% chance that it's up? Yeah, it's just over 50% that the next move's up, but that's not great odds. That's like flipping a coin. Would you, make bets on flipping a coin? I mean, not really, unless the other person is offering you something more valuable for the trade. But anyway, this one line is going to help you. I would make yours look the same on this chart, and it'll help guide your Bitcoin and crypto decisions for now. And that is it for Bitcoin. Let's move on to some questions.